Live. Preparing to live stream the webinar. All right. And we are live. Brothers and Booze. So a little bit different this week because we have we don't have our esteemed leader Greg here because he's traveling the country again to Pittsburgh. So I brought my partner in crime from our Parental Dad Advisory podcast, Jay Wisniewski. So Jay, man, it's good to have you on.
It's good to be here, man. And as we always say, how's everybody doing tonight?
How you doing?
I know Greg's feeling pretty
yes, good. Voice. Yeah. So, all right, man. So normally Greg and I just kind of jump into it. So you're the guest. What you got first?
I get to go first.
Yes, sir.
Well, I got three, and I noticed that you did the ladies' night choice. So Aubrey picked one. So I'm going to be trying this Rapunzel. It's a Wheat India Pale Ale. It's brewed here in Michigan. Michigan Hops, Arcadia Brewing Company out of Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yeah, I've had a couple of Arcadia, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I've had a couple of those when I was in Auburn Hills for work. So, not sure I've had that. I haven't had that one though.
So we'll see how it goes.
All right. So, what's it look like?
This glass does not pour well.
Sometimes it's like that. I have ones where it's dirty, it just doesn't look right. But what are you seeing?
Pretty standard. I mean,
that's a lot of head.
A lot of head. I didn't even pour that much in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, standard pale ale from what I can tell.
Let that guy.
Yeah, let it settle down a little bit. You can definitely smell the hops in it already. So, like I said, kind of a standard pale ale that goes with them. Let's see. It's a 5.8 ABV.
And it's just a pale ale. It's not an IPA, right?
They have it listed as an India Pale Ale, so you know how that goes. Everybody wants to be an IPA.
The ABV is pretty high for it, so.
Yeah, so we'll see once it settles down a little bit. I mean, I can drink it straight from the bottle, but what are you working with first?
Well, all right, so I'm not even sure what I want to go with first. I'm going to start with the one that our friend Jeff said was going to really disappoint us.
The Dunkin'?
Yeah, the Harpoon Dunkin' Summer Coffee Pale Ale. So I'm going to start with a pale ale as well. I have been hesitant to get any of these Dunkin'. There's also, I think, a lager they made. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not sure I really want to try those because, one, I'll be straight. I do not like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I think it tastes burnt all the time. My oldest thinks that it's the best coffee, so clearly he needs work on his taste buds. So, pour this out in my nice little Game of Thrones glass from Ommegang. I don't have as much head as you going.
Yeah, it's settled down now. I mean,
look at that. That's nice, though. It's got a really nice color.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
You first. Let me know how it tastes.
Yeah, like I said, I'm weird. I drink IPAs, and I found some that I really like, but most of the time I stick to like stouts and porters and things like that.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, it's definitely hoppy, and again, they don't have the IBU on here. It's crisp though. It's definitely one that you could drink on like a hot day. It's almost while it's stronger than your normal, lawnmower beer. It's kind of the in between there. But yeah, the hops come through more than anything on it to me.
Yeah, but I find interesting about this one that I poured is just how dark it is.
Yeah, that is interesting. Like it makes me wonder: is it darker because of the coffee brewed into it, or?
Yeah. What's odd is I smell no coffee on the nose at all. Yeah. It's just all hops, and it's not even like super hoppy, but that's the nose that I get out of it.
And that's like with this one, they specifically listed as a wheat pale ale. I don't get the wheat; it's just all hops coming off of this Arcadia Ales Rapunzel.
So I wouldn't say this is disappointing. This is about exactly what I expected. There's coffee in it, but it's not overdone.
Yeah.
And it's hoppy as well, but not like overly hoppy. So it's very middle of the road. And Harpoon is really hit or miss with me. Some of their stuff I really like. Like for instance, I really like their Winter Warmer around Christmas. That's a beer of theirs that I really like. But this is just kind of
just there.
I wouldn't say disappointing. Now, I should clarify that Jeff is from Boston, so he's probably a Dunkin' nut because that's, Boston is Dunkin' Donuts. So, yeah, not bad. I would say it's pretty drinkable. Like, I'm not really an IPA or a hoppy beer fan, but this is pretty drinkable. Because the coffee's not so prominent, I'm just really surprised at how dark that color is. It's almost more like an amber than it is a pale ale.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely darker than this pale ale that I've got. So
is that something you would drink again?
I think it's along the lines of what you're saying with that. Like if it were there, knowing that I've had it before and it was one of my only options and there wasn't something that I really prefer, then yeah, I could drink it again. It's not something I would go out of my way to buy a lot of, so I'm not going to go out and get a whole case of it.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than some of the other pale ales I've had. And again, they're not my top choice, but this one's kind of middle of the road because between the nose on it and the actual flavor, it's like they were trying to cater to that line between people who really like pale ales, but kind of also the people who like a classic crappy Bud Light. Like
that's not a ringing endorsement.
No, there's some people who just swear, they're Bud Light, they're Coors, and that's what it is.
My neighbor like street drinks Budweiser, and that's it. He drinks nothing else.
Yeah, so to me, it's like the people who are like, oh, I want to try this from an independent brewer so I can say that I'm drinking something a little bit better. It's not horrible, but again, it's not something I go out of my way for every time.
Maybe that's the intent, is to make it a little more approachable for folks who would be like Budweiser drinkers.
Yeah, maybe. I can see that.
So I don't know. Yeah, this is drinkable, but like you said, exactly with that is like, I'm not going to go out of my way to go get it. But if I had it, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I know I can drink that, and that's a decent beer. It's not something that knocks my socks off in any way. But speaking to your thing about case of beer, somebody for Christmas once gave me a case of beer, and it was a peanut butter blonde ale. And it was bad. And I had a case of it.
So and bad is not good.
I was like, it wasn't like, that's bad. It wasn't that. It was like, ugh.
It was like bad, pour it down the sink.
Well, I've said on this show many times, if somebody makes a good label, I'm more inclined to get their beer because I think that means if you're concerned about how the artwork is on your beer, then you're probably concerned about how the beer tastes. The artwork on this label was fucking horrible. Like it looked like like a 5-year-old had some software and a computer and kind of threw some clip art together, and that's what they came out with a label. And I was like, and I remember I was trying like crazy to give it away. And, one of my buddies is a manager at a bar, and I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna bring some beers. And usually I bring cellared stuff because he will just give me all this weird stuff that they make that are offshoots that they're trying.
Yeah,
so kind of it's a relationship of, I'm going to give you some stuff I have that's cellared, and you're going to give me some weird shit that you're just trying out. And I gave him one of those, and he goes, what the fuck are you giving me? And I said, I have a case of that stuff. And he's like, oh, so you're pulling it off of me? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get out of my house.
He thought you had him on a candid camera there.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned labels because one of these I bought tonight first because I saw the label before I even knew what it was. The label, it was the first time that I saw it in stores, and it kind of drew me in. And then when I realized what it was actually brewed with, I was like, well, I'm a fat kid at heart, so I got to get this. And it was Shorts Brew S'more Stout. So it's brewed with graham cracker crumbs, chocolate, and marshmallow fluff, right? But I mean, like, it's not some like super cool label, but I was like, it just drew me in. I saw the campfire and the marshmallow and the s'mores.
And that's a local one too, though, right?
Yeah, that's local too. They are out of Elk Rapids, Michigan. I think everything I grabbed tonight is actually local. So
that's what we like. We want to try, like, now I will go all over the place and try ship from wherever I can find it. Like, even if it's just, I usually get stuff from Wegmans because it's close.
Yeah.
So, but I want to grab stuff from wherever I can find it. That's not, I've had all the local ones because, there's not a ton of them where I live. So, yeah, it's something where I'm going to try whatever I can. And the s'more stout now, I have had a couple, and to me, it's either it's really awesome or it's really awful. So I'm really interested to see how this one is for you.
Yeah, that was part of what, like I said, the label drew me in first, and then being a fat kid at heart, obviously, chocolate graham cracker. But I remembered you mentioning a s'more stout before, so I was just like, well, it's going to be hit or miss. Let's see what happens anyways. And then for my other label, I'm partial to porters, kind of like our grandmaster Greg, but like, it's the shittiest, most nondescript porter label ever. It's just porter and shades of brown.
Gradient, and that will be fancy.
Like you said, it's like somebody just threw it onto Windows and clicked like the color bar and was like, gradient.
Well, it's funny. Greg said that on our commented that that you're trying to be like him with your background, so he noticed.
Like I said, I threw it up. I was like, man, he's got this background. I don't have the beer one, but I got to be coming live from Greg's place.
So which one are you going to try next? Are you going to try the s'more or are you going to try the porter? Which one are you going with next?
I think I'm going to keep the s'more for last because it's either, like you said, it's going to be a happy moment or I'm going to be very upset with it. Whereas, I mean, yeah, I've had
the dice.
Porters, but I tend to like porters. I don't have another glass for this one. Oh, and I just realized even the friggin' cap is in that gradient, man.
They thought it was so cool they put it on the cap.
So nice, we do it twice.
Yeah, I'm saving. One of mine is a cider, and I'm saving that for last just because it's the sweetest.
Yeah, so this one, they say notes of chocolate, coffee, and roasted barley with a slight hop bitterness. So it's definitely got the coffee notes in it. I can pick that up here.
Yeah. What's funny is Bell's is, they have for Oberon and Two Hearted Ale, and they have a really big following for that stuff. So I don't think I've ever had their porter.
I've never have as well. My favorite summer beer actually is the Oberon. I've probably
that's the next one beer.
3 cases of it in there. And I even like they put out a limited edition case this year for the end of summer with like the sun setting. And I was like, look, we got to get it just because the artwork changed. Yeah. What's funny is they talk about a slight bitterness on this porter. I'm not getting it.
How's the roastiness of it?
The roast is there. I'm definitely getting the coffee. Chocolate's barely there. It's kind of an after effect, an aftertaste. It's more of the coffee than everything, like definitely roasted barley. Mm-hmm. It's not bitter at all. Maybe I have a different opinion. I know people have different tastes, but this is definitely one that I could sit back and drink. It's not my favorite. I think one of the ones that Greg and I prefer, the Edmund Fitzgerald one.
Yeah, you just had that at the brewery.
I know. I was so jealous because I picked those up too.
That's your favorite porter? He's like, yeah.
That one, the Edmund Fitzgerald, has a better mouthfeel to it to me. It's a little bit more smooth, goes down. But yeah, this is definitely one I could sit back and sip on.
Yeah. So I know it's a porter, so generally speaking, a lot of people will not drink those and stouts in the summer. But I find
what people are you talking to?
I'm talking a lot of people who aren't cool.
Hold on. Well, I've got a Zima over there I can grab for those people.
Well, it's like that. I don't know if you saw the one meme where somebody's like had Fred from Scooby-Doo demasking the White Claw, and it was a Zima, and I was like, that's not perfect. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, there's also this meme going around of like some he just looks like a frat boy, a fresh frat college boy. I know I posted a few times in the Daddy Porter group, but he's like, yeah, White Claw 2019 summer, and I'm just like,
what are you doing?
It's amazing though, like that set of people who really grasped onto that, and I'm like, whatever, if you like it, you like it. Like, I like some really random stuff. I like the Not Your Father's that tastes like Mountain Dew, and people are like, oh, that's not.
I've not tried that one.
Yeah, so they have that one, but like a whole bunch of people I work with out in California, so maybe that says it all. Every other night I look and they're posting White Claw, and I'm just like, I don't want to pay that for water. I can get a good porter or a stout or even an IPA if I want it. And I'm just I don't know. Part of it to me, it's like keto for them or something. It's like a health craze. Like I'm drinking water. And
yeah, I think, well, there's all that sort of thing. And they run the gamut. Like you had the Michelob Ultra for a while, you know, and then whatever. And now it's White Claw. But there's also like a whole bunch of other ones that are offshoots that, you know, if you like seltzer and stuff like that, great. I personally really can't stand seltzer water, so I'm not going to drink that stuff. So, like, I might take a sip just to kind of get a taste of what it is, but that's as far as I'm going to go. But
yeah, that's kind of how I am. I haven't tried the White Claw, but you know, obviously it's everywhere, so you've at least heard something about it.
would it be funny if you took a sip of it and you're like, "This is."
But I'm one of those people, like, you know, I've even messaged you before, like, oh, you know, what's a drink you've tried? Like I tried the Blood and Sand finally because of you, you know, off topic of not beer. But so like I have no problem with seltzer water, but I tend to have it in more traditional real mixed drinks. With that, it really does make me feel of a cheap malt drink like Zima. And if I want one of those, I got the limited edition. I can't believe I bought a 6-pack. I bought a 6-pack to reminisce on, and I kept one. It's over on my shelf next to Surge in Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, keep those for about 2 years and then open them and see what they taste like.
No, I was going to keep it until like Joshua hits 18 and just have it be like a rite of passage.
Why are you doing that to that boy?
You know, the first thing that stood out to me with the Zima, and like I'm hoping I'm not getting Greg in trouble with the brands or anything.
No.
But, so obviously, when we were younger, we drank stuff like that, and Mike's Hard Lemonade. So I get this limited edition pack, and I almost didn't want to drink it because I looked at my wife Aubrey, and I'm like, man, I don't remember this looking like gasoline. Like it has the color of gasoline.
It is.
And I'm just like, makes sense, you know. But yeah, so White Claw, who knows? Maybe it will be great. Maybe I'll try one of these nights. Next time we hang out or something.
Yeah.
I'll bring some White Claw to the bottle share.
Oh my God, that would be the best. Hey guys.
Hey guys, look what I got.
You're all ready to party?
It's craft, I swear.
All right, so I'm going to go.
Greg's like, why did I let this guy on my show?
No, this is great. So I'm going to go with one that I haven't had, but I've had several other beers, Anderson Valley Summer Solstice. So
when you posted that, I really liked the artwork on the can. Like I said, I know it's
their
pretty.
Artwork for their stuff is all really cool. And this one is a ale with natural flavor added.
I mean, it's better than this other one I had that had artificial flavors added.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see what it's got on here. It's 5% ABV.
That's not bad.
No, it just says ale with natural flavors. All right. So the Anderson Valley is at Boonville, California. I have no idea where Boonville is. But summer beer, this should be. Oh, let's see. I was trying to see what the date on it was, but it doesn't have a date on it. So that's something Greg and I have started doing, is like realizing that we buy stuff and we're like, I bought one that was like, oh man, this is like a barrel aged version of this one beer that I like. And it sat and it tasted just like awfulness. And I was like, and then I looked at, it was like a year old and had been sitting on a shelf in a grocery store. So it's like, it's like, okay, well, not that. So, okay, I'm not sure I've ever had this before. I smell almost nothing on the nose. Like just not even like nothing. It's maybe I'm sniffing White Claw.
You got the can of seltzer water.
I smell very super duper slight citrus notes, but it's like barely there. So let's pour this out and we'll see what the heck comes out of it and see how it tastes.
Surprisingly dark for something that's not giving you a nose.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like the other one was dark too. This one is like, I would say a little darker than the other one.
Yeah.
Obviously, the glass isn't as clean as I would like, so you're getting all those weird bubbles on it. Now, when I open it up, I don't have the citrus notes, but it smells more like an amber on the nose. So let's see how this tastes.
Oh no, Spider-Man down. Sorry about that.
So I'm not really sure even how to describe what the flavor is in this. It's got, and this is gonna, all right. So it tastes like an amber on the nose, and then it tastes like a toasted marshmallow in it.
In a summer?
Yeah, it's weird because it's not what I was expecting at all. Like I was trying to pin down what that flavor was, and I was like, it's almost cloying. Like how marshmallow is like to me. I don't like marshmallows because how cloying and sweet it is, but this is like really not what I expected.
Yeah, even looking at it, it's not what I expected to hear from you because, and again, it may be the color profile of my monitor, but again, it's a little bit darker on my end than the other.
Than what I would expect a summer. I would expect a summer to be more like your first beer.
Yeah, like this
almost wheat style. Yeah,
that almost like looks, nutty or like it has berry in it or something. And so for it not to have any kind of,
it smells like an amber ale. So, which I like amber ales, but the flavor is just really strange with that. I was just trying to, I'm like, what is that flavor? Like, that's just, I think because one, the color was a little not what I was expecting. And then all of a sudden there's this extra flavor in there I was really not expecting.
Yeah.
So, and it's toasted marshmallow. That's what I'm getting out of it. Not my favorite. I think more, if I would have known what their description was like, here's an ale with natural flavor. Well, did you throw marshmallow fluff in the wort? What is it?
Maybe they forgot to like clean it out before they brewed it, and it was in a batch of
we made s'mores in the thing.
Summertime s'mores campfire.
All right. So even on the nose now, maybe it's just because I tasted the marshmallow. Now I can smell a wee bit of it in the nose, but I mean, maybe it's just because I tasted it. Now I can't get it out of my brain. I'm gonna have to have Jill try that and just see what she thinks, because that is like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my taste buds are off, but that just tastes like marshmallow in it.
And what was the name of that one again?
Summer Solstice, Anderson Valley. To the Google.
I am. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, because that is just not at all what I expected.
Well, looking at a website, which I won't name because we want everybody to stay with Daddy Porter, says Summer Solstice. It has a subtle sweet side with minor notes of caramel, marshmallow, or baked apple.
No baked apple. I could see caramel in there with them, but like super slight. It's definitely marshmallow is way more present.
Yeah.
So again, it would have been nice to be informed of that before I took a sip and was like, what the fuck is this?
It's definitely like I said, if I were going off the artwork in the can and just the description, it's not what I'd expect to crack. How's what's the finish or mouthfeel on it?
It finishes just like a regular amber, just with a little bit of that marshmallow kind of left on your tongue after the fact. I mean,
okay.
Again, I'm not a marshmallow fan, so that's not something I would go for. If I would have known that's the case, I'd have been like, well, I'm going to try it. One, because Joe got it for me, but two, because, I want to see what it is. So, yeah, it's not something I would pick up again, just me personally. But maybe other people might think, oh, that reminds me of like a campfire at summer. That I could see.
Yeah,
like just a fire pit kind of thing. But yeah.
Apparently, they have a winter solstice ale.
Yeah, well, if they have a summer solstice, they should have a winter solstice. Now, if they have marshmallow and a winter solstice, we're going to have some issues.
Cinnamon marshmallow, pumpkin spice, something.
Oh, man. Yeah, I saw my first pumpkin beer in the wild today. So other guys have been posting in the group about seeing like pumpkin and all that stuff. I'm surprised I didn't see pumpkin because that's a Southern tier thing, and that's New York, and I didn't see any of it. So I'm surprised by that. That's one of the few that I like. So
there are, yeah. That's one that I like. I think we do get that here as well. But again, one of my favorites we don't get here, but it's not pumpkin. And I know we have some very heated discussions about it, so I just won't even go there.
But we want to hear it, man. What is your favorite one then?
It's the elf, man.
Oh, the Mad Elf.
Yes, the Mad Elf. Some in the backstory is on that. I wasn't a big beer drinker growing up. And I think it's just what I grew up around. Like I grew up in Florida, and my uncle was the NASCAR loving dude who's just drinking Miller and Bud. My dad drank Guinness and Heineken. So like that was my idea of beer. And until I really got older and branched out, I didn't have any idea about it. And I started working for this one company, and they shut down their center up in like Pennsylvania, New York, everything up in that area. And this guy told me, he's like, oh no, I'm going there. I'm going to bring this back for you. I don't care if you like beer. You got to try it. And I fell in love with it. And it was so funny being in the Daddy Porter group. Like, it's hit or miss, man. There's no in between with people. They either are like, yeah, I can't wait for it to come out, or no, it is absolutely horrible. Dump it down the drain. So, yeah, it was like, and I get so upset because it's one. I understood why we couldn't get it in Florida. I was hoping when I moved up here, up north, being closer, but I have not seen anyone carrying it.
You get any Trogs beer out that way at all?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to cross the line over into Pennsylvania.
You really want to venture into Pennsylvania? Because I live there, and trust me, you're not missing much.
I mean, I don't know. It's either that or it's pay you to somehow get me some of that Mad Elf. So
sweet elf. I plan on sending it to several people, so I'll make sure you get some. So not a problem. Oh man. So I am kind of 0 for 2 so far. Like the first one didn't disappoint me. It was exactly what I expected. That one was just so out of left field that I'm not sure if I knew those were the notes that were saying you would get, I might have been able to, all right, well, okay, then I'm getting what you're telling me. But they just didn't say shit on the can. So I was like, all right, well, here we go. And not what I was expecting. So let's move on to number 3.
Number 3.
More, man. I really do. I'm really interested by this.
You know, I'm super interested, but like you said, again, I'm so afraid that it's going to disappoint. So Shorts Brew, some more stout brewed with graham cracker crumbs, chocolate, and marshmallow fluff. This is one that, unlike yours, may contain artificial flavors, so they're not telling me what those are.
Yeah.
And it's brewed and bottled by Shorts Brewing Company in Elks Rapid, Michigan. So, again, local. I've had some of their other stuff. It was funny. Aubrey almost originally chose another Shorts that I have in there that I've never had. But then I was like, pick again. I've already got the Shorts S'mores. I don't want to do 2 of the same brewery. So she switched it out for the Rapunzel, which for me now is the loser so far. So we'll see. Let's see if I can pour it without making it explode again. Definitely dark.
I love how dark that looks. Yeah.
This one, see, I'm not getting the marshmallow on the nose or even caramel. I'm definitely getting the chocolate and graham cracker. Like, it's almost like toasted graham cracker and chocolate. Like what you picture if you put those over the fire, not just the marshmallow. Let's see. Yeah, that was probably my favorite. It's
you took one sip. That wins.
No, it's right up there. It's smooth. Definitely doesn't hit you too hard. The smell, the toastiness of it comes through in the mouth and the taste on it, the nose. See, what's funny is like you got the marshmallow out of that other beer. I'm not getting the marshmallow, but I'm definitely getting the toasted graham cracker and chocolate out of it, which is enough to make you think of a s'more.
S'mores, yeah.
It's definitely like a sit back and sip.
What's the ABV on that guy?
I wonder if they've got it on here. It's not on the bottle. Let me look it up. It's a very good question. See what we got here. Are you 21 or over? Yes.
No.
That has an 8.0 ABV and a 20 IBU.
Well, that's pretty high, but it's not like high gravity. But that's still something that, like you said, as a sipper, definitely want to kind of take your time with that. I mean, not nurse it per se, but like just kind of, especially I find with dessert beers like that, like I would consider that. Would you consider that a dessert beer? That's what I would see it as.
Yeah, this definitely is, because again, the mouthfeel on it's smooth, and like sipping it, it's almost creamy, you know? It's funny because on their site, it says you should a flaming marshmallow garnish strongly encouraged. Let's just burn down the studio here. But yeah, it's definitely
Lucas.
Oh, don't get me started. It's definitely a dessert beer, but again, I could see, and again, I'm one of those people, I like stouts year round. I could definitely drink it year round. It's not something I'd get, again, a giant pack of, but I could probably keep a few, throw it in there for when I want something that's a little different than just, standard stout.
Yeah. Well, like, again, as like when we discussed pumpkin with Southern Tier, Southern Tier just makes some great dessert stouts, and I really, really, really like their creme brulee one, but it's a one and done kind of beer. It's so, like, I don't know if that's how you view that one, but like I couldn't have a second creme brulee stout because it's just so sweet and just like it feels like almost like a nightcap.
Yeah, that's how this is. It feels. It's not necessarily that sweet. It's almost heavy from the creaminess of it. And then that roasted chocolate in there, it feels like it's just like a dessert drink versus actually having, an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because the idea of like, I think I would love to try that one because, like I said, I'm not a big marshmallow fan, so that would probably really appeal to me. Just because of the graham cracker and the chocolate and that stuff that I would really get behind. There was one that was a Dragon's Milk s'mores variant that was probably the best s'more beer I've ever had. And I love Dragon's Milk, but some of their variants I don't get. But that one was just freaking superb. Like I don't know how they did it, but they layered everything. It was like, you got graham cracker, you got chocolate, and then you got marshmallow. And then it was beer. And it was like, how do you make that happen in a beer where literally you taste one thing and then zoom to the next thing to the next thing? So, yeah, that one was probably the Rolls Royce of s'more beers that I've had, but I haven't had a whole ton of them.
Yeah, and that's kind of how this is with the layers. To me, you get the chocolate first when you're actually drinking it, and then it gets almost creamy and smoky. That's when you hit the graham cracker.
I'm making my wife taste this summer.
I was like, what is he signaling me? Is there a kid behind me?
Giving you a come hither look, but yes.
Yeah, so you get past the chocolate,
you got me,
which is definitely on the nose, and then the residual leftover is almost a smoky taste. And again, it's creamy, but it's heavy enough that it's definitely one like you can sit back and settle down and end your night with it. Is she enjoying that?
Yeah, I wish I could show your face. She was just like looks completely puzzled.
Yeah, no, that's.
Are you getting marshmallow out of that?
No.
No.
Wow, what are you getting then, or what's she getting?
Off camera, lady. Tell me what you're tasting out of that.
Corn syrup.
Well, I mean, marshmallow, yeah, corn syrup, artificial.
All right, so I'm going to go to the last thing. I'm going to go.
This has me interested.
Yeah, Bombshell cider, red apple cider. This company, I'm trying to think, what's the name of the company? Locally brewed by Three Brothers Wineries. But I've seen a few of these. They have a few variants, and they always have kind of the 1920s pinup girl things. So that's kind of their calling card for their cider.
Is that one? Is that considered like a dry, or is that a sweet cider? Does it say?
It doesn't say. It's a red apple one, so it's a first impression can be misleading. You might expect sweet, but with a little exploration, you will find something a bit more adult. Red apple bombshell is a taste of more innocent time, or so we thought. And it says just the right amount of tart. So apparently they're proclaiming this is not sweet. So let's see how this tastes. Yeah, that it looks like a White Claw.
No, it's funny because you said it's brewed at a winery. It does resemble wine, essentially.
Yeah, well, I grabbed this glass specifically because it was a cider and it holds a whole lot.
Yeah.
And it's a larger can. It's a 16-ounce can where the other ones were 12. So, okay, so this obviously smells like cider, but it smells dry. I don't know how to explain that, but that's kind of how it smells, almost like a dry wine. Oh, that's really tasty. Oh. Okay, so I'm not generally a cider drinker.
Yeah.
Handful of exceptions, but this is like really crisp and like sweetened and just dries right out of your tongue, like a really good dry white wine. Man, that's good. Thing is with ciders, there's not a lot of, you're not going to get a lot on the nose or anything like that. You're just going to go for the flavor. And I really like how it starts off sweet and then it just moves its way into the dry realm. That's really good.
Are you getting anything from it other than red apple or apple? Any other kind of flavor?
The apple and the dry crispness is what I'm getting out of it. And I'm going to drink all of this because it's that good.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the brewery site for that. So I guess it's supposed to give you notes of honey and vanilla, and it's got a 7% ABV according to this.
Well, 7 ABV. Excuse me. Woo, that's the bubbly. That's part of the reason why ciders are something I don't drink a whole lot of, because the carbonation really just fucks me up. I don't mean like gets me drunk, just like makes me burpy the entire.
Yeah, it's that full feeling from the carbonation.
I'm like, ooh. But this one says 7% ABV, so hard cider from New York State apples, carbon dioxide. They're trying to kill me. Malic acid and sulfites to preserve freshness. So it is really, really good.
See, now you're making me want to try that. I'm going to have to go on Tapped. That's how I keep track of what I've been drinking recently.
And my thing is I just stopped doing Untapped because I was just like, I'm tired of just entering stuff. Like, I just want to drink stuff and not have to worry about it. But like, and the thing is, like, when I drink things, like, I can go, I've had that beer and I remember it tasted like this. And I could have had that beer 5 years ago. And for some reason, I remember what it was. Unless it was something completely unremarkable. I mean, that's possible. Like, I will remember that summer solstice beer because it was not good. Be like,
no,
that's not great.
So, like, I'm the opposite. Again, I wasn't a big beer person. So with Untapped, like, while I have people on there, it's more about me keeping track as I go through the store. You know, I reached out to you, I think, like a week or two ago and was like, where the hell do you buy your beer? I can't find any good places to buy beer here. And
a lot of it is the laws in the state that you're in as to where you can buy stuff.
Yeah, it got to the point, though, where I was like, well, I'm not going to keep a paper notebook. I'm not that old. So, like, I started using Untapped. But the reason I thought of it, I had this one, and it's horrible, but it's like, it's called Beard Bender. It's a Blake's hard cider, man. And it, like, the way you're reacting to that is kind of how I reacted to the Blake's, because I like ciders, but I'm not big on them, again, because the carbonation of that. But just the flavor profile on it was a really easy drink. It's one that you wanted to finish. So, yeah, now I'm going to have to try that one that you're having there.
Yeah, I have no idea how far they distribute because that one is a New York State one. So they make several others. I again, what's weird is now seeing like Jill likes ciders, so I get to see different things, and I will try some of them. But she tends to go more toward the drier, though. Like the really excessively sweet things are not her jam at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, I usually pick up things that are on the drier side. But we did find one called Rootstock, I think is the name of it. She's shaking her head, yes. It's a plum cider. And it's really, really, really good. And it's one that she'll drink, you know, more often than not, simply because it's good. To each their own. So sounds like you're going to be finishing off that stout, I guess, tonight, huh?
Yeah, I gotta work on that one. Like I said, it's definitely a heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ending fairly light because that middle one I'm not finishing. Like that one's, I detest wasting stuff. I just hate it. But like, I have this much left, and I'm just
not excited about it. I get it.
no, I'm just like, I don't want to have that weird taste in my mouth after the fact.
Well, that's like, if we're ranking them again, the first one I had was the Rapunzel, and I kind of like forced myself to finish it because I wanted to have the glass ready for the stout. So that's at the bottom of my list. The porter, as much as I like porters, it's just very nondescript. It's kind of like here nor there. So I've had better, but yeah, the winner take all tonight was the s'more stout. Surprisingly, I was worried it wasn't going to be as good as I wanted it to be. But
yeah, sometimes they surprise you that way. That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to start, and obviously I'm going to say that. Actually, I realized I still have more in this can. I'm just not drinking it. So this was easily not what I was expecting, and not
good artwork, bad drink.
Artwork, bad beer. And some of their other stuff I've had is freaking great. That is not it. That's not good.
And again, like we said earlier, it may be great for somebody that's not us. Everybody has different tastes. There's people out there.
I want something that has that little kind of marshmallow or sugary flavor.
Yeah,
because it reminds me of whatever. But yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, that's like I said. I can drink.
Yeah, this one's probably the second place for me. Just it was exactly what I was expecting. That's the thing. I was not holding high hopes, but I didn't think it would be as bad as other people might think. So it kind of met my expectations. So yeah. And of course, this one's the winner for me. It was this Bombshell cider, just really crisp, really yummy. Got that nice dry finish. Yeah, that was really good, especially after a nice hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
cheers. Cider and stout take the wins tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, just want to let everybody know too, Jay and I are because our summers have been excessively crazy, we haven't really been doing much on the parental advisory stuff. So I know we'll be getting back to it soon. It's just been an insane summer for both of us. And, those of you who are fans of the podcast, we really appreciate it. We're definitely going to be getting back to that soon.
Definitely. I appreciate everyone who sticks around, whether it's on our Facebook page or our social media. We definitely get a lot of when's the next episode coming? There is an episode that's already been recorded. I'm like halfway through editing it. I promise. Again, as Doug said, I know my summer has been absolutely crazy. I think we'll also get to a point where I know you and I have discussed, kind of leveraging both of our manpower and maybe getting you into some of the editing side of it so we can alternate there. But yeah, the next episode is definitely one to look forward to. But when it comes to this, I'm very appreciative of you and Greg having me come on. It's a show. I try to hop on here every week when you guys are on. And again, especially as a newbie who's a newcomer to beer versus I was always like a mixed drink hard liquor person. I like getting those nowadays. There's a few times I've seen you or Greg or your guests throw something out there and I'll go to the store and be excited because I can see it. Even if you guys are like, oh, this is the worst one. I'm like, I'm going to try that because I want to see if I agree. So, it's a very cool outlet and I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, man, it's been great. And I'm glad you were able to jump on and, who knows where Greg is at this point or if he's coherent. So yeah. So this has been us. I think we're going to sign off for the evening. Man, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. It's been a pleasure, man. If you guys ever need me again, I'm always around. I've got Greg's background back here.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, everybody.